So this is another quickie blade review, and what you are now viewing is a clone of the EMP EDC Relative. I will link to the beneath this video an astonishingly detailed comparison done by a Redditor of the Chinese knives subreddit, who basically proves that this is significantly superior to the original, which I was really doubtful at first, but the more photographs he showed and the more things he highlighted, I was like, wow, it is. So, for example, I think it's this. Yes. So if you see that this part of the the blade steel is pretty much flush with the handle. On the original, there's about 2 mils, 3 mils jutting out, and there's at least two or three noticeable aesthetic and ergonomic and action improvements that were made on the clone. And when I say clone, this is available on a certain Chinese version of Amazon, well, AliExpress. Depending on whether there's a sale or not, around 115. I happened to pick this up secondhand, but it's in very good nick, and it's just one of those wow knives. I mean, you just look at the milling. It's nothing like mind blowing, but it's just beautifully textured. There's no sharp edges. I love what they've done here with the lock barrel relief. I love the clip. It's a shame it's not reversible, but it's not that big a deal to me anyway. What else? Yeah, I mean, and just basically the feel of this in your hand. It's nice and slim, but not too slim. And just I'm a sucker for fullers, and look at that fuller. It's bonkers, and it's just a joy to deploy. But I'm a poet, and so you've got the fuller there. But if you want a faster action, like a bullet, you can go with the hole. And just you can't do push button because this flipper tab swings around and hits the top of your fingernail. See? So you just got to go with a bit of a light switch, but even then it's nice and fast, nice and snappy. The closing is fantastic. The front flip, excellent. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be all that, but it is. It is all that. It actually is all that. And once it's open and in your hand, that jimping, it doesn't need it, but it just locks you in even more. And and because the clip is nice and flat, there's no hot spots. It's just great. Oh, not to mention the fact that you can choke up. And unlike the EMP EDC Nimble, which has a big gap, this bit is much longer, meaning that there's a horizontal gap between your forefinger and your middle finger. This one doesn't have that. So this just is absolutely going nowhere. Nowhere. I'll repeat that again. Nowhere. And look at that blade. I have to get my porky fingers in the way. Look at that blade profile. It's just awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of sounding like a fanboy here, but I just can't think of anything other than maybe the blade shape, because I would prefer something like, I'd prefer a Tanto, for example, or a sheep's foot. But good grief, I mean, look how elegant the lines are. You've got the nice kind of straight lines bounding the blade, the crown and the cutting edge. Then you've got this really elegant, gracefully swooping lines of the handle. It's just a beautiful knife. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the tip, as is usually the case with compounds, is flat ground, and the main bevel is compound, is it? I think I'm right in saying that, yeah. And it's just a spectacular knife. Apparently this was tested, this particular clone, and it is M390. Don't know about the heat treat, don't quote me on that. Spectacular. The EMP EDC Relative clone from AliExpress, about 115 or so. Cannot recommend it highly enough. Cheers.